All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
Star Wars Visions, episode 9.
All right, it's the finale.
Yep.
This is the last one. It's a little bit of a shorter one.
Yeah, just under 13 minutes. Cool.
Yeah. This one is done by Science Saru. So we now have our second studio that got to do
A double. Yep.
which is fun. The first one that they did was Toby, which is not really one of our favorite ones in Star Wars Visions.
If I were to rank them, that one would probably be my least favorite.
Yeah, because it's probably
So far.
it's probably like the least,
Memorable? Or
the least memorable and one that I probably don't need to rewatch,
Yeah, like some of the other ones I could see
way
myself
more cutesy and for little kids,
Right, like I could see myself rewatching scenes from other ones and then say episode 5 I'd rewatch the whole thing probably, right?
Yeah.
But that one not probably at all.
Yeah.
But you know, this one could be great.
This one could be great. And also this one being pretty short means they're probably going to tell a pretty tight, specific story.
Yeah.
And I think that the ones that go for the least amount of ambition tend to be the ones that are just good. They're just good fun.
Yep. Unless you're episode 5, because that one just had no right being as good as it was.
True. But I would also really love to see basically again, something a little bit more on the artsy side of things. We have kind of figured out what the formula is for a Star Wars Visions episode.
Start with stars and space and all that stuff.
That's every Star Wars thing.
Have a lightsaber in there. Have a droid that's quirky and all that stuff. And have end in a fight,
of sorts. So, y'all, without further ado, let's get into this. Oh.
I like to start.
Yeah. A big wing.
Nice.
Oh, cool. Form of duck horses or something? Build horses? Oh, I love the quick cuts.
We got chocobos in Star Wars.
A katana saber? Whoa.
All right. Ooh, I love the after images. That's kind of fun.
Yeah. It's like a motion blur of sorts, but not really. Cool. Very simple art style. Oh, shit. Oh, you've killed.
Oh, shit.
Whoa. Okay, so wandering Ronin Jedi that doesn't want to kill. Oh, no.
All right.
Cool. Very simple start here. One Piece?
Yeah.
He kind of reminds me of Revan.
The way he looks, yeah.
I love it. They're massive ostriches of sorts. It's like chocobos.
Alright. I love the personalities of those two.
Yeah, they seem just straight out of like a comedy, story.
Yeah.
But
just like The Odd Couple.
Yeah,
See, they swapped out the quirky droid for 2 quirky traveling companions.
Yeah. Or watch, Masago has a droid.
There we go. Nice. Those masks looked really cool, too.
Yeah, they did. This feels very Dororo,
Yeah.
Oh, what's in the mountain?
Also, I'm a Jedi. We'll be fine. Really? Should have asked for more.
I love how they both had different reactions.
Right.
They are a couple. They have to stick together.
Exactly.
And one's like, yes, that's $250 each. And he's like, no, but I don't want to die.
Right.
Oh.
We lost one.
Oh, no. Feels like we've come full circle to the duel episode in
Oh, sure.
the first one. But now we're getting to know the people that are under the thumb of a warlord.
Hey!
Oh.
I love these two.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd
I
forgotten
wonder if
about
this is
that.
like the pull of the dark side in some ways. Like there's
Maybe.
a past where he murdered like his master or an apprentice or something.
It does have a very sort of the stranger kind of feel to it.
Yeah.
So they just... So they lured the guards away.
Yeah, I guess so.
Nice. He looks so grumpy.
Yeah.
Wait. Oh, flashback?
Yeah.
Gotcha. So he came here when he was a Padawan or something. Oh.
これは姫様。きつれ哀れな父親の敵討ちか。私はずっと機会を伺って。
Gotta say, I like that we're seeing a Sith in armor.
Feels very Marka Ragnos.
Yeah.
Yeah. The gold and red.
だが爪が甘い。
Ooh.
They're still alive though. Yep, that's smart.
Don't.
Yep.
Nothing bad better happen to those two.
死ぬことは書かれているというの。
Oh. Oh. Oh shit. Oh.
仲間を助けるためにはどうしたらいいのか。
Jeez. I love this. If he's gonna remain a Jedi, he has to...
ダークサイドは
Yep, yep, yep. I love this, and that it's
Okay.
causing him physical pain.
Right.
なる運命なんだ。
Oh, that was cool.
最近うなされているんだ。誰かが殺される姿が。欲と誘惑がお前の判断を鈍らせる運命だ。
Destiny again.
Oh, God.
That was all of them.
Yeah, and just pushing the body forward
Yeah,
with
yeah.
the force.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh my god.
Okay, I love it.
なければ何も変えられん。彼らの指揮官として共に支配するのだ。
Shit.
守ることにもなる。共にミサを救おうじゃないか。
Wow. Oh, damn.
ミサを救うマスター。
And then... bzzz. Oh, just like that.
やるべきことをした。
私の弟子よ。
Shit. I love it.
That one was really, really chilling.
Yeah. Like, oh, that was great.
That was a really well done use of the short amount of time that they had, because there were a lot of little things that I have like questions about, like lots of them.
Yep.
But ultimately those don't really matter. Like
Right.
Oh. Okay. Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
That's
that was
way to go for bucking convention
Yes,
in terms of
like,
what
oh,
all the
man.
other previous episodes have been thus far. This is this is the story of how a Jedi falls.
That's right.
Is that they had a moment of not just weakness, but a prolonged exposure to a vision of sorts that was their fear that they would use their
Right.
power in a way to harm someone, but
Yep.
it was ultimately something that was
Like
the same thing every
This-
and then the fact that that Masago put them in the armor
yeah.
and
Oh, yeah.
sent them to die.
Yep. That was great.
That was
Like,
so like
Because
oh, that's so twisted.
There are so many reasons why I love this episode. Like,
Yeah.
like there's the original start, and it's like, okay, yeah, it's kind of campy and fun and all that stuff, and you've got the two quirky people helping them on the trip and everything, but that whole end sequence, like okay, one, there's the fact that this is the final episode, so you kind of like I wonder if that was part of like the writers.
they chose how to order these.
Like,
These were not
okay.
done in a specific order necessarily in mind. I think it might have totally been a thing where
that's
were
true.
like,
it could have been like we get them all and then we decide which one to put
yeah,
first.
and decide how to order
So we
them.
put the duel first because that's the the craziest
Well,
like
it's the
visually and all
most
that
visually
stuff.
different, I
Right,
would say.
But like
Yeah.
I wouldn't chicken or the egg, whichever came
Sure.
first. I love that this is the last one,
Me too.
right? Whether it's in post they decided to order it this way, or the creators were like, you know what?
You know what?
There's this since this is the last one, let's leave an impression, right? Let's do something very different. But two, people will be used to this. Expectations will be set of, all right, you've got the Jedi, they're going to go fight the Sith, save the day, it's going to be great. But what if it was something different? And it also is like paying homage to like episode 3, I feel like, with the way that Lucas ended up having Anakin fall to the dark side, where it's the fear of a potential future that you then like make sure
Actively
like
focus on to
Right.
the point that you end up going into it.
exactly.
One actively meets his destiny on the road he takes to avoid it. Yeah.
Right. And then the whole idea that it was also done as something to save someone and also something that you end up causing, right? I love that. And having the whole thing of like the masks for the guards and everything. Oh yeah, just cool design, right? Like even when I saw her force push the person into him, I didn't even make the connection that it was going to be the girl. I thought it was just something where it's yes, I'm corrupting you and here's another body, right?
Yeah.
Like kill them, right? Because maybe the person is like, no, I'm not going up there. I've seen 6 people get cut down by this dude. Nope. Oh, whoops. And then you hear the cry and it's like, oh, damn. Like that.
Like, I got chills, man. One of my favorite things about this was the idea of the immediate problem brought up in the first, 10, 20 seconds, which was once he kills one of them, he immediately cripples down, like, he falls down, and he's like, no! And it's this thing of, like, no, I never would use my blade to kill.
Yep.
And then he gets pain and suffering for it.
Exactly.
Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering. I can map this whole thing for you. The fear of that future.
Right.
The anger at yourself for then taking steps that move you towards that future.
Right.
The hatred of this future and the act itself. There's so many things that you could take into with that, and then the suffering.
Right. Like
It's literally the path to the dark side, played out throughout the whole episode.
And we got it as a little microcosm at the beginning when he's doing the Jedi thing.
Well,
and
that's
then,
the thing.
It
wasn't really the Jedi thing.
Well, you're right, but
in some ways, you could say by the constraints of the episode, it was fated because he couldn't just speak with them and be like, I have no quarrel with you. That would be the Jedi thing.
Right, exactly.
But he almost has to just defend himself
because they're coming up and attacking as soon
him.
as he lands, right?
Even though he has probably the power to be like, yeet, and then he jumps away and he's like, I don't want to fight you.
Right.
And I'm sure they would have stopped fighting him if they
who knows, right?
Yeah.
But that's when he's doing everything like as best as he can, right? And you could say that even at the end he's doing things as best as he can, and he just realized what that actually meant, right?
Sure, possibly.
But then at the end he gets it again, right? And it's all sorts of different, right?
It's all sorts of different.
And the fact that the episode was able to have so many things repeat in a 13-minute episode, like I loved it. I loved that they didn't waste time with things, and yet we still got a bunch of extra fun flavor to kind of lull us into that false sense of security. The 2 guides
are perfect.
Are perfect. Apart from the end sequence and how it did things so differently and all of that stuff, they're my favorite part of this episode.
Yeah, I feel like the weirdest part was the editing choice of how they had the bales of hay roll down, and then them running away, and then the idea that they lured them away, and then they're suddenly in the palace and stuff. I feel like that was a bit of a janky.
I thought it was the two guides that did that.
I could have swore that at the very top of the hill it was actually Tsubaki and the princess.
Gotcha.
I could have been wrong, but it looked like them at the top there. I can show you in a second here.
Oh yeah, it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless they dressed up as them or something.
Yeah, they could have dressed up as them.
Right.
Yeah.
They totally did.
They totally
that's
dressed
great.
up as them.
And
We
while
missed
it was
that.
still
We
like
missed that,
it was
yeah.
cut real short, so like in 3 seconds, you could miss what happened there, right? It was like you kind of have to do things like that every now and again for a 13-minute episode, probably. But that's also just like a fun little twist. It felt very like Timon and Pumbaa from like Lion King, with like, okay, we're gonna get the hyenas out of there, awesome. But also just as far as like designs for a Sith armor, like golden, like the Marka Ragnos kind of feel, this Sith looks intimidating as hell, right? Like it was something where I was actually like kind of like, I don't want this character to lose, right?
And
like she didn't. She won hard. Like, oh man.
Yeah, it gave me feelings of like female Bane or Marka Ragnos.
Yeah.
And I think that the decision to have her not only win in such a way, but win the ideological battle, in that there is nothing that has not been fated. Basically, the idea that he is so afraid of fate that he chooses to continue on because he feels like he must. And this is something that I love whenever in Star Wars the Sith or the Dark Jedi or the person who wields the dark side of the Force brings up this philosophical thing here. And they say, I'm stronger than you. I don't care about the will of the Force or what have you. I am going to make my will happen. How does your philosophy, justify that? If you're so on the right side of things, why can't you stop me? And it's it's this very, very boring logical argument, because it's like, well, no, of course, no, you could get into the weeds of it. But the idea here is that every Jedi, and HK-47 will tell you this, every Jedi is immediately killable once you bring others that they care about into things.
Right.
Which is why the Jedi's almost unhealthy thing of no attachments has some merit, but can be taken, of course, to extremes.
Right, and that's the whole reason of why the Jedi Order kind of had to fall, and that's one of those things where the whole thing of Revenge of the Sith is a much better movie than people give it credit for.
Yes,
a lot of times,
exactly.
But in this situation, I also love that as far as demonstrating the power of this Sith figure, we actually don't see them doing any kind of really crazy things in the Force. Nope. They fight with their lightsaber a bit. They're a very physically imposing figure, so it makes sense that they're good with the lightsaber. But they might be
evenly matched with the Jedi for all we know.
Who knows, right?
Yep. But he has this inner conflict.
But also we get shown and not told or whatever that this character is incredibly smart. They know how this kind of stuff works, right?
Yeah.
They didn't just have the one ploy. They had two.
Yeah.
Right? They had the two, the two guides and everything. Of course, yeah, because why not, right?
They caught them. Yep.
Yeah, they caught them, right? But then you've got the whole thing with the princess. No, I can totally use that.
Yeah.
Like it was planned, it was orchestrated. She didn't need to communicate with the guards or whatever, right? It's no. Do this. Oh, you think you're the only ones who gets potential visions of the future?
Yeah.
I do too. And guess what, honey? I accept them.
Yeah.
Like that's chilling.
Yeah. I love that in some ways the only way he could have won here was to not play.
Yeah.
Was that he had to basically
let someone else go to the planet.
Let someone else go to the planet. Yep. He's dealing with his own stuff right now.
Right.
He has to resolve that.
Yep.
And in some ways it's a very chilling and haunting episode in that he as a Jedi was not prepared for this. The master was right. It's a very dark episode in that in some ways, he was preyed upon. Yes.
Absolutely.
But he also came here alone.
Yep.
Without really a plan of how to stop Masago. Think about it.
Yeah.
If he's not willing to kill, how is he going to stop Masago?
Yep.
He actually didn't have a plan.
Right.
In some ways, I'll bet you he wanted to lose facing Masago. Like, go out together. And it's this thing of this is the one way, because she asked him, the princess, asked him the fundamental question of how would you help bring peace and stability to this region? How would you
Right.
How would you do it?
And I love that
He
it
had
was
no answer.
right, and I love that it was the princess. It wasn't, Masago
Masago,
or
yeah.
anything like that, right? It's like a genuine and unpointed question, right? Like it's just this is a thing that I have to worry about
'Cause
as
I'm
I'm
one
the
of the
governing leader,
ruling leader, yeah.
Right, exactly. So that's part of my job, right?
And you're a peacekeeper.
Yeah, exactly.
You are
and
someone,
Jedi are wise, so
Yeah. What do you have? Nope. No answer.
Right.
Because in some ways he was so wrapped up and scared, like wrapped up in the fear of the future and
Yep.
what could happen, and the idea that yes, some things in this world where the Force exists would absolutely be fated,
Sure. Yeah.
and that's something that you can choose to resist, accept, or to dance in that. And yet here you are,
Right.
without a plan, without your master,
Yep.
without your own inner peace, and
Right.
of course you fall.
And-
It's so just simple and ugh.
And one of the things that I also love about this is that the whole thing of like fate and him surrendering himself to his fate at the end versus well, he actually could have easily made the choice of okay, we saved her, let's get the fuck out of here.
Oh
right?
sure. Yeah.
But nope. At that point, what you can say, yeah, he surrendered himself to his fate, or he chose, to surrender
Yeah.
himself to his fate, right?
Yeah, I loved that the reason why it almost like he doubly resolved to do this was because the princess was going to fight, and he's like, well, you don't stand a chance. And in
Right.
some ways I loved that you could take a lot of his dialogue and you could see it as projection. And
Sure.
you could take a lot of his stuff about the conflict he has with all of them going through this thing, and the way he's just like, I don't care about the what this will do to me. I'm going through the mountain pass. I'm not scared of any of
Right.
this. He's not really caring about them. Like there's this,
And yet
there's-
he also does go back to save one of them when they get lost.
right.
Yeah.
So it's like, what do you really want here? And
Right.
I just love that this character is one that they actively don't characterize in a perfect objective way.
Right.
You have to read in between the lines
Yeah.
a little bit
Well-
about what he's thinking or feeling in these moments, and it's
Almost
really good.
Almost in a similar way to how the character doesn't necessarily understand himself fully, right? He's questioning things. He's unsure.
Right.
And it's something where I feel like getting stories like this,
Yeah.
where you get to see, a Jedi that falls to the dark side, right? And we
Yeah.
actually it's sold to us really well why this happened,
Yeah.
right? That also retroactively adds to all of the times that you have a Jedi that doesn't, right? Like Luke in the original trilogy, right? Him saying, "I will not fight you," that kind of a thing, right?
Yeah, it's really campy and cheesy.
It's campy and
And yet-
cheesy, and it can be easy to basically dismiss it as just that, right?
Yeah.
But if you are in a situation where stories like this can happen,
Yeah.
then the ability to actually resist it makes it even more
makes
of
it
a
even more
feat,
special,
right?
yeah.
As opposed to just I am the good guy, I do the good thing,
Yeah, and it comes after the idea of having struck at his father.
Exactly.
And that
In anger
reminder-
and-
yeah, and using the dark side, and in that moment of, oh, him and I are so similar. That
I
is
could be just
I
like
could be
him.
just like him. There's almost no difference in that moment from me
Right.
and Vader there. I will cast aside my weapon and my life,
Yep.
theoretically,
Uh-huh.
to potentially just hold on to not just myself,
But
but
kind
then
of-
a hope for my father as
right,
well.
exactly. Yeah. And
So
so
I could talk oodles about the Return of the Jedi final, scene
Yep.
of confrontation there, but we're not talking about that.
Yeah, we're talking about this, and
This
I
episode
I feel like this was a nice way to pay homage and
To that.
and respect the themes of Star Wars and everything and all the good stuff that it can bring to the table. So
Yeah.
so good.
really good stuff, and loved the exchange for music to transition us between scenes rather than dialogue of saying, now we're going to go do this thing.
Right.
It was very efficient and
Yep.
just well handled. This definitely goes up into my top half of,
Oh, yeah.
of episodes for Vision so far.
And that
Or of
surprise
all of them, yeah.
same here, and that surprises me given how short it is.
Given how short it is, yeah.
normally I would think Tatooine Rhapsody, where it's oh yeah, you just do a fun little thing and there you go, it's Star Wars, But this actually did something that was ambitious in a short period of time, and it made it work.
Yeah,
Like,
so it's
awesome.
definitely like
Yeah.
upper 4 kind of
Yeah.
setup there.
Real good.
But yeah, y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the full-length timer version of this reaction discussion, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. Any level support there gets you access to our Discord, where you can chat with us in the community there about this show, about Star Wars, anime in general, and also be sure to check out our Twitch channel.
We stream every weekday. The info's in the description.
Yeah, so if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all
Next time.